Good morning, Kwara. Good morning, Ilorin. Good morning, Nigeria. You are listening to newspaper review on Emirate Radio, and I am Latifa Ibrahim Arona. Stay with us. And on this morning's newspaper review, we have the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post, Daily Choice, or the Online Royal newspaper, the Leadership newspaper, and the Vanguard newspaper. The first news we are going to look onto this morning is the Punch newspaper. Telecom's tariff hike. Reps demand reversal as new pricing begins. Nigerian telecommunication operators have started implementing the long-awaited 50% tariff hike following regulatory approval from the Nigerian Communications Commissions as lawmakers move to halt the rollout, citing economic hardship. The House of Representatives on Tuesday directed the telecom regulator and the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy to suspend the tariff increase, arguing that Nigerians cannot afford higher telecom costs amid rising inflation and the removal of fuel subsidies. The tariff hike, which had been declared by the NCC, was scheduled to take effect nationwide starting Monday. While MTN, the country's largest telecommunication provider, had already started implementing the revised rates on Tuesday, other key players, Glo, Airtel, and 9mobile, are yet to release their new pricing structure. Still on the Punch newspaper, 26 suspects arrested as hoodlums beats pelu copper to death. The Plateau State Commissioner of Police Emmanuel Adesina on Tuesday announced the arrest of 26 suspects for various offenses, including one Samuel Dankkat and Zashinen Wubruem in connection with the attack which led to the death of a National Youth Service Corps member in the state. The serving member of the corps member, identified as Safwan Adamufade, was said to have been beaten to death by hoodlum in a shocking incident that occurred in Pangshin local government area of Plateau State. The victim, serving with the Federal University of Education in Pangshin, was reportedly attacked and beaten to death by a group of hoodlums who stormed a local stadium within the locality. Additional said the suspects were arrested after a thorough investigation and promised to do everything to bring the perpetrators to justice. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper this morning, Bayelsa government not responsible for reality TV star Nengi Abson's pregnancy. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Duri has dismissed widespread social media rumors alleging that he is responsible for the pregnancy of reality TV star Nengi Abson. The speculation, which recently gained traction online, claimed that Nengi had given birth to the governor's child, with some reports even suggesting he has 4 wives. On Monday, social media was buzzed with claims that the 27-year-old former Big Brother Naija star was expecting a child with the governor, who appointed her as a special senior assistant on girl child development in 2020. And on the Daily Post this morning, on the newspaper review, we have drama as Senate grills AIG over 3,907 missing assault rifles. Drama played out on Tuesday at the Senate Committee on Public Accounts as the Assistant Inspector General of Police AIG Suleiman Abdul was interrogated over 3,907 missile assault rifles, many of which were AK-47. The AIG, who represented the Inspector General of Police, listened with rapt attention when the representative of the Auditor General of the Federation read the 2019 audit query, where it was disclosed that as at January 2020, A total of 3,907 assault rifles were either missing or could not be accounted for by the police. This is as the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, who appeared earlier, apologized to the Senate Committee on Public Accounts for not honoring previous invitations. Still on the Daily Post this morning. 2027, Tinubu, Obi, Atiku should step aside, said Kenneth Okonkwo. A former member of the Labour Party, Kenneth Okonkwo, has urged President Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi, and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to step aside from contesting for the presidential seats in the 2027 election. Newsman reports that the Nollywood actor turned politician was a former spokesman of the LP presidential campaign team in the 2023 general election, working alongside Obi, who flew the party's flag in that poll. However, after 2 years, Okonkwo has backtracked from his support for Obi, asking the LP chieftain Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu to step aside for other candidates in Nigeria's next round of elections. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, New Year murder, Fati Noyes get justice after 2 years. On Monday, February 3rd, 2025, Justice Basirat Adebowale of the Ogun State High Court sitting in Abeokuta sentenced Adekanbi Lekan, Odesola Ahmed and Adeniyi Waheed to death by hanging for killing a couple, Kehinde and Bukola Fatinoye, and their only surviving son, Oreoluwa. Justice Adebowale sentenced the trio after delivering a judgment which lasted for more than 3 hours. The judge convicted and sentenced first, second, and third defendants of counts 1 to 9, handling them to death by hanging or lethal injection, life imprisonment with hard labor, 14 years imprisonment, among others. Still on the Daily Post newspaper, Ilorin Federal High Court jails 3 Bureau de Change operators. A federal high court sitting in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, has jailed 3 Bureau de Change operators for operating without license. The convicts, Muhammad Idris, Hassan Bala, and Ajayi Enes Isaac, are all from Chikanda in the Baroti local government area of the state. The trial judge, Justice Olukayode Ariwola of the Federal High Court, convicted and sentenced the 3 Bureau de Change operators. They were prosecuted by the Ilorin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on separate charges. And lastly, on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, missing 70-year-old man found dead in Ogun community. A 70-year-old man identified as Sikiru Olatunji, who was reportedly missing in Wasimi Imasai in Yewa North local government area of Ogun State, has been found dead. His lifeless body was discovered lying face up on Tuesday near the Ibese boundary with Imasai. Daily Post reports that the deceased, who had gone to the farm on Friday, had not returned, and all efforts to locate him proved abortive until his corpse was found. The Baale of Wasimi Imasai, Taiwo Akinola, stated that he was informed of Olatunji's disappearance by his wife and had instructed the community security team to search the forest. During the search, his cap was found and his boots were seen hanging on a tree. However, the Septuagenarian was found dead with his farming tools beside him. You are still listening to a newspaper review on Emirate is a Daily Trust newspaper. El Rufai, I might be arrested, detained, where Emefiele was forced to resign. Nasir El Rufai, the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, has alleged that his political opponents are plotting to arrest, detain, and torture him in one of the offices of the National Security Advisor. El Rufai, however, vowed that he wouldn't be intimidated by such threats. He said this in response to a warning from an ex-user at IU_Wakili who warned him of plans to arrest him whenever he returns to Nigeria. I was reliably informed to arrest, not invite Malam Nasir El-Rufai if he comes back to Nigeria with another concocted allegations, as confident El-Rufai will return soon because he has nothing to hide and is not afraid of anyone, the netizen wrote. Reacting to the post on Tuesday, the former governor added that his friends, family, and political associates have also been receiving similar threats. He alleged that the plot of his opponents is to see him proceed on self-exile, but he won't gratify their desires. According to him, he has put all academic programs on hold and is ready to face the fire coming from his opponents by spending more time in Nigeria. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, CBN reviews ATM transactions fee, scraps free withdrawals. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a review on the transaction fees for automated teller machine ATMs. In a circular signed by John Onoja, Acting Director of the Financial Policy and Regulation Department, said the revised charges will take effect from March 1st. According to the new policy, customers withdrawing from their bank's ATM on us transaction will continue to enjoy free withdrawals. However, ₦100 per fee per 20,000 naira withdrawal will be applied at on-site ATMs just located at bank branches. For withdrawals at ATMs of other banks not on us transaction, on an off-site withdrawal will attract 100 fee plus a surcharge of 450 naira per 20,000 naira withdrawal. The CBN clarified that the subcharges is the income of the ATM's deployer acquire and must be disclosed to consumers at the point of withdrawal. For international withdrawals using debit or credit card, the CBN said banks and financial institutions are now permitted to apply a cost recovery charges equivalent to the exact amount charged by the international acquirer. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, MCM begins 50% hike implementation as lawmakers call for suspension. MTN Nigeria has increased the price of its data subscriptions as telecommunications operators begin the implementations of the 50% price increment recently approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC). The revised MTN data price seen by Daily Trust shows that MTN's 1.8 gig monthly plan now goes for 1,500 naira, previously at 1,000 naira. The 20 gig plan had been adjusted to 7,500 naira, up from 5,500 naira, while the 15 gig plan now costs 6,500 naira, a rise from 4,500 naira. Text messages now 6 naira. Other mobile operators comprising Airtel, Globalcom, and 9Mobile are yet to update their data prices as of the time of filing this report. And lastly, on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, I want to marry her. Two-Face confirms relationship with Igbe's granddaughter. Nigerian music legend Innocent Idibia, better known as Two-Face, has confirmed his relationship with the Deputy Majority Leader of Edo State House of Assembly, Natasha Osawaru. Natasha is a granddaughter of a billionaire Gabriel Igbe. On Monday, the singer's unexpected presence at the Edo Assembly generated controversy on social media amid his ongoing divorce saga from his wife, Annie. The reason for his appearance was unclear. While many users linked the visit to his rumored romance with Natasha, others questioned whether it was politically motivated. Addressing the rumor in a video shared on Instagram, Two-Face clarified his relationship with the lawmaker. Expressing his affection for the lover, he said, "Yes, I love her. I want to marry her." And on the leadership newspaper this morning, experts fault reintegration of repentant terrorists. Security experts, civil society organizations, and victims of terrorism have expressed disappointment over the reintegration of repentant Boko Haram terrorists into the society at the expense of the victims. They accuse the government of pampering the ex-terrorists while their victims languish in internally displaced persons camps across the country. A security consultant, Abdullahi Muhammad Jabi, faulted the reintegration of 5,000 repentant terrorists to the communities that once rained terror on. He said the gesture undermined the sacrifice of patriotic Nigerians who have paid the supreme price in defense of the nation. Recently, 22 soldiers, including a commanding officer, were killed in Borno on January 25, 2025 during an offensive at a renowned terrorist enclave known as Timbuktu Triangle after the terrorists deployed suicide bombers in explosive vehicles to ward off the troops. Still on the leadership newspaper this morning, PDP loses another federal lawmaker to APC. The members representing Jaba Zangwakat's federal constituency of Kaduna State in the House of Representatives, Honorable Amos Gwamma Magaji, has left the People's Democratic Party for the All Progressive Congress (APC). Magaji announced his defection from the main opposition to the ruling party in a letter read by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, APC Kaduna, had resumed plenary on Tuesday. The Chairman House Committee on Healthcare Services and leaders of the Kaduna caucus in the Green Chambers attributed his defection to what he called unresolved crisis in PDP from nationals to all levels. His defection brought the total number of PDP lawmakers who defected to APC in the 10th hours to 4. The previous defectors include Honorable Chris Mwakota Abia, Honorable Eriak Teke Ibori Swenu, Delta, and Honorable Sulaiman Gumi Zamfara. The minority leader, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, PDP Rivers, who objected to Magaji's defection, asked Speaker Abbas to declare the lawmaker's seat vacant. Still on the leadership newspaper, don't ask me questions like secondary school students. Wala clashes with arrived news anchor. A heated exchange erupted between presidential media aide Daniel Bwala and Arise News anchor Rufai Hussaini during a live morning show on Tuesday after Hussaini questioned Bwala's decision to serve in President Tinubu's led administration, despite his past criticism of the government. Hussaini pressed Bwala on whether his political alignment was driven by convenience rather than conviction, leading the presidential aide to snap back, "Don't ask me questions like I am a secondary school student." Despite Hussaini's persistent questioning, Bwala maintained that his decision to serve in the current administration was guided by a desire to contribute to national development rather than personal interest. And lastly, on the leadership newspaper this morning, JAMB set 320 UTM benchmark for candidates under 16. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has announced that candidates under the age of 16 can be considered for admission into Nigerian tertiary institution if they demonstrate exceptional academic ability by scoring at least 320 out of 400%, making it 8% in the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. This decision followed the reversal of the mandatory 18-year admission age policy introduced by former Minister of Education Tahir Mamman. And on the online royal newspaper, Senate reports on 54.2 trillion naira 2025 budget ready this week, says Akpabio. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, the Senate will receive the report of 54.2 trillion naira 2025 budget from its Committee on Appropriations for possible passage into law this week. President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who dropped the hint during plenary on Tuesday, said the Committee on Appropriations, chaired by Senator Solomon Adeola APC Ogun West, is expected to present the report on Wednesday or Thursday. President Bola Tinubu had on December 18, 2024, presented a total budget of 49.7 trillion naira to a joint sitting of the National Assembly, but later increased it to 54.2 trillion naira, citing additional revenue of 4.5 trillion naira from the generating agencies like the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, and other government-owned expertise. Akpabio, in his remark after debate on a bill seeking for the establishment of a Federal University of Agriculture in Abak, Akwa Ibom State, on Tuesday said there was need for them to quickly end the debate for final work on the 2025 budget. Aviation ties between both nations. The signing of the amendment BASA builds on the last year's negotiations, ensuring reciprocal rights for both countries and fostering deeper aviation collaboration. The minister emphasized the importance of enhancing connectivity between Nigeria and the UAE, with a focus on expanding code-share agreements and interlining opportunities for the Nigerian airlines. Still on the online royal newspaper, federal government committed to reducing food prices through agricultural investment, says minister. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to lowering the cost of food commodities through massive investments in agricultural production. Idris stated this in Abuja on Tuesday at a press briefing to kickstart the minister's briefing session for 2025. He emphasized that while the government will not impose price controls on food commodities in line with the principles of a free market economy, it remains focused on reducing prices by boosting agricultural production and increasing supply. And on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, USAID funding suspension. HIV and AIDS treatments won't be disrupted, says Ogun government. The Ogun State government yesterday assured residents of the state that the ongoing treatment, care, and support for people living with HIV and AIDS will not be disrupted by the recent suspension of U.S. funding for public health programs. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, gave the assurance in a statement following the United States announcement of a 90-day suspension of funding support for the HIV and AIDS program under USAID. Koka said the state government had put proactive measures in place to ensure uninterrupted healthcare services, adding that both the federal and state governments were committed to preventing any gaps in care. She said to mitigate the impacts of the funding halt, the state government has taken steps to ensure HIV test kits remain readily available across hospitals and primary healthcare centers, allowing citizens continual access to free HIV testing. All eligible clients require viral load testing will also have their blood samples collected with logistics in place to transport samples for necessary analysis. Still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, on newspaper review, we have NAFDAC officials seal fake drugs shop in Idumota. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, yesterday sealed the popular Idumota drug markets in Lagos as part of its nationwide operation to combat the distribution of counterfeit medicine across the country. The initiative, which began Sunday night, saw the sealing of three major open drugs markets in Idumota, Lagos: Bridgehead, in Onitsha and ISERE in Aba following alarming concerns over the widespread sale of dangerous, ineffective, and potentially life-threatening medications. Addressing newsmen during the operation in Lagos, Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Christiana Adeyeye, said, "The essence of the operation is to ensure that when we take medications, they work. When a child is given a medicine, that child doesn't die because there is nothing inside that medicine." She said the essence was to control unwholesome products or those not approved. Still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, no pilgrims will miss 2025 Hajj, says NACON. Professor Abdullahi Usman, National Chairman, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has assured that no intending pilgrims will miss the 2025 Hajj. Usman, who gave the assurance in Abuja on Monday, debunked all allegations that he was truncating the preparation of the 2025 Hajj pilgrimage by cancelling deals with Saudi Arabia martial companies. The Forum of Chief Executive Officers of State Muslim Pilgrim Welfare Boards, agencies, and commissions through its secretary, Abubakar Saliu, had on Sunday raised concern over the reported alleged cancellation of the martial contracts. And lastly, on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, on newspaper review, we have subscribers react. MTN raises data prices to reflect 50% tariff hike. Nigerian subscribers are reportedly switching to alternative network providers following a sharp increase in the MTN's Nigerian data and SMS tariffs. The telecommunications giant recently implemented a price adjustment of up to 50% on its data bundles and SMS rates, sparkling widespread backlash. Reports from the affected users indicate that 15 gigabytes plan has increased from 4,500 to 6,500 naira, while the 20 giga plan now costs 7,500 naira up from 5,500 naira. The hike is even steeper for larger plan, with the 1.5 terabytes of 90 days package surging from 150,000 naira to 240,000 naira, and 600 gigabytes 90-day plan rising from 75,000 naira to 120,000 naira. SMS rates have also increased from 4 to 6 naira per messages. Thank you for listening to today's newspaper review. You want to read those and more, you can pick any of the newspaper and read. You can continue to listen to us on all of our social media handles, TikTok, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, on Emirate Radio. You can as well download a mobile store from the Google Play Store, Emirate Radio Nigeria, or watch us live on YouTube at Emirate Radio Nigeria. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the newspaper review. I am Latifa Ibrahim Aruna. Have a blessed day.